All right, guys, we're here today at the second day of PRI 2023. I'm here with Matt Meyer from RMC, and just wanted to show you guys a few things of what we got going on in the booth this weekend. First off, we got our Billet 73 block that RMC helped us design and machine. We've got a block in the machine right now, currently being machined, and we'll show you around the booth here.
We'll show a little more of the motor.
So Billet 73 block, a bunch of upgrades on the block, 9/16 head studs, main studs, totally solid block. Bed plates, the 4340 pre-hardened steel bed plate, and good enough to support everything hopefully we're going to throw at it here in a couple weeks. So moving around here, we've got the newest, latest and greatest V50 that Matt's actually in the process of machining a block for us right now. You can kind of see on the screen here what we got going on, that they're machining the block. So a lot of hard work's gone into this, a lot of hours in programming and development and everything. On the other side of the booth over here, we've got the RMC ETS. That's the engine test stand to just kind of qualify any engines that get built. I'll let Matt show you what we got going on here in just a second. But the ETS is on display here if everybody wants to see it. And I'll put Matt here, and you can show us what it's all about.
So hi, this is our ETS 100 machine. We call it a cold testing, complete engine testing station. What we do here is any kind of engine that you're building and you wouldn't take to a dyno, or you want to know that it's built correct, this is the machine to check it in. So we have a 15 horsepower motor on it. We have a 15-gallon oil reservoir with heated oil, heated to 107 degrees. We can feed the oil through the engine. You can see the oil running out the bottom here. So we can monitor and check oil pressure and oil flow going to the engine. We have a connection here that goes to the coolant system on the engine to do a leak down check. We have compression tests. We have the drive shaft connected for rotation. That's going to do a torque to turn test to check the torque loads. So we'll give you a little run through on it. We have an auto test mode, and in that auto test mode we can select a program. And so we selected program. We have to enter serial number to get it to run here. We'll just type in something for test purposes, and we'll start the test. So we hit cycle start, and it's going to do our leak down test and check the cooling system for any leaks. Now it's doing a torque test. What we do here is we do a slow rotation torque turn, and that's the first rotation that we do with the motor to make sure there's no torque loads that are going to exceed what we want to do for rotating this motor. If anything popped up here that was bad, it would stop the test so we don't do any damage to the motor. So then the next test we do is we do a run-in test. And that run-in test we like to run for 3 minutes to make sure that we get oil going through the whole motor, get it warmed up, get the cylinders moving around, lubricated well, and getting the rings kind of seated. We don't say that this is a break-in machine, but obviously if we run it for 3 minutes, we're going to get something seated on the rings. So in that run-in time, we're always monitoring the oil pressure and oil flow. Pause it for a second. Don't need to watch 3 minutes of the same. All right, so now that the run-in test's done, it tells us here that we got to connect our compression test leads to do the compression test, so we'll get that done. Excuse me, guys. All right. So now we're good to continue the test. So the machine's built with the lines going to a common manifold, and it's going to open and close the valves to the sensor up there to take a reading on each cylinder as it goes down the line. So we get cylinder 1, we'll get cylinder 2. And again, we have a pass and fail parameter that has to fall on to make sure that we meet the guidelines that we set for the engine. All right, so we got a pass on everything on that test. Now the next test is going to be, we're going to our advanced test, which is a cylinder cancellation test. So this has the MDF plate, and it's going to start with doing a cylinder cancellation on cylinder number 1. Then it will go to cylinder number 4, then cylinder number 6, and then cylinder number 7. Those are the standard deactivation cylinders on this motor. So what we do is we always check for a standard compression. We see that the compression goes low on deactivation and then back up to standard on each cylinder. So everything passed on this test, and the final test we do is we actually go to the cam activation. This has a BBT cam activation, and what this does is it's going to activate the cam, and again it's going to look for compression being at standard. It's going to activate the cam, and the advanced pressure will change. We read that pressure and then make sure it goes back to standard. So we put a 30 second delay in there in case we're running an oil pump, make sure we get solid pressure on that before we start the test. So now when this timer is done, we'll see the cylinder pressure measure, that's standard pressure, the cam advanced. This is the activated pressure, standard pressure, and then active pressure. So at the end of a complete test, this is our test results screen. It's going to tell us what passed and what failed for this motor.
Awesome. Good deal. Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.